All right, continuing on with our X-Files reviews that are probably tanking the algorithm of our channel and destroying it. So uploading all these all the time and no one watching them, I think is legitimately killing our views because we can't seem to get any views on any videos anymore since we upload like half of our videos are videos that maybe 60 people watch. And I think the algorithm is telling us like, nobody watches your fucking videos. We're not going to recommend them to anybody. So I don't really know what to do about that outside of like getting more people to watch these or whatnot. So I honestly don't know. I might have to upload these and then dump them all after October. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Or maybe just release one a day. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm releasing like 4 at once.
Yeah, you should just do one a day and see how that works.
There's people who really like these and they're looking forward to them.
I know.
So like I try to drop them for them. If I could put them unlisted and then like put a link to all like 50 of them and be like, hey,
exclusives.
if you want to watch them, here they are. But otherwise, they're going to get released one a day. Yeah, Patreon exclusive. Nobody's going to sign up for Patreon for these. So episode 18, the Pine Bluff variant. The last one I said was episode 16 when it was 17 because I wrote 16 in 2 episode slots here. Okay. And then I even wrote 17 on this one, but it's not. And then the next one's 19, so it makes it look like I totally missed an episode. But that's an X-Files on to itself. We have yet another episode. These are getting annoying as well. So Scully not believing after all she's seen is annoying. But another trope that's getting annoying is when Scully like thinks Mulder might be the killer or might be in on it. It's like, come on, man. Like, how many times does it have to be proven that your partner, the guy you're in love with, isn't the bad guy?
Yeah.
He's definitely not doing the bad thing. And even if he is, he's probably under some mind control.
I know,
She's so quick to be like, I don't know, maybe Mulder's an asshole. Maybe I should kill him.
In this one especially, but in some of the others too, this is just a case of her literally not having all the information because he's undercover.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like she does kind of blow his cover, right? Like, isn't she kind of the reason why the other guy follows him and then ends up like recording Mulder's conversation?
Yeah,
that shows that he's
I don't know why he wouldn't tell her.
I don't either.
That makes no sense. So
she would be able to play along totally.
This is
she
plot
could totally
convenience.
play along.
I mean, you're talking about a woman who literally went before like a congressional hearing after you took a shotgun to a guy's face to hide his identity.
Exactly.
And you were to go in there and you were to lie to Skinner, you were to lie to everybody
and she
that
lied
he's dead.
For you, yeah.
You couldn't include her on this. You have to just keep like blowing past her and not talking to her. Like Scully's so gonna ever not give up. Like, of course she's going to continue to pursue this endlessly.
Thing that Scully,
so it's bad writing, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that she should totally be included on that. I don't understand. Like, the only reason that she isn't is because of the drama of, like, you know, her not knowing what's going on for half the episode, basically.
Yes.
But I don't like that
saying.
either.
It's plot convenience.
But the other thing is that, like, the only thing that I could see Scully doing is pushing back maybe because she doesn't want him to endanger himself. But he does that all the time. He does that all the time. Like, that would be like a 2 lines.
Mulder, don't jump on that train.
So, yeah, I agree. I think that these kinds of episodes, like, I like some of them for sure. Like, I do, you know, the concept of, like, not trusting, like, not knowing.
Trust no one.
Yeah. But, like, that, you know, that concept can definitely be scary. I mean, obviously, the best episode probably that's done this is Ice, which we talked about, like, recently from season 1. It definitely can work really well.
But back then, they barely knew each other.
Yeah, back then. But this is like 5 years that they've been together now. 4 or 5, like 4.5
Mulder
or 5
went,
years.
Yeah, no. This
so
is so
I
absurd.
agree. I think that this is like stupid to waste half the episode with her being like out of the loop and thus making the viewer out of the loop, because we could still be out of the loop. She could just be playing along like she doesn't know what's going on.
Have it be Skinner, not her.
Sure.
But even Skinner would be a bit of a stretch at this point.
But anyway,
I don't know. It's just
Mulder is undercover to try and get these guys caught that are like, they're like a weird like militia, like anti-government group or something.
Yeah, but it ends up being...
I was kind of confused as to like what their whole, but they're like, I don't know. I kind of was confused about their motive.
Their motives for me or whatever, but it ends up being what what ends up being the truth here is that this is a experiment by the government through like patsies.
Yeah.
Right? They're using these guys' beliefs, but it's really just all a big ploy to get them to experiment on people for them.
Yeah.
So that they can go down for it when it was really the government all along. It's the government all along. Bum, ba-da-da-dum,
yeah, because there's some substance that they end up spraying
flesh
on
eating.
On cash at a bank. And yeah, it's gnarly. We see it a few times, like the results of it, and that's definitely gross.
This episode actually has a great horror shot in it where these kids sneak into a movie theater then they turn around and look at the theater and everyone in there is like dead.
They're like all bones and melted flesh.
And it's like darkly lit room with the projector in the background and a bunch of like corpses that have their fucking skin rotted off.
Yeah, that's great.
Shot.
I love that. I'm always a fan of horror in movie theaters. Well, and horror in this show, obviously, but like movie theater stuff is always cool to me. I liked the bank robbing sequence where Mulder is like wearing a mask and trying to go in there.
He's Dracula.
He's he doesn't want to shoot this guy, and so he's like hesitating like a lot, and I'm like, bro, they would be so suspicious of you for not
they
he doesn't
draw
even
that out
say
for so
yes, it was
long.
too long, and I'm like, there's no way. They would be like, why aren't you shooting him? Like, what's the problem? Unless he was to say something like, I don't know. Like, he should make some excuse for why he couldn't shoot him, but instead he gets the guy killed.
You know what it felt like? Actually, this is funny, but this is so true. For anyone who plays video games, if a character tells you to do something, the video game will give you a certain amount, like a lot of time to do something, and then like a character has to randomly come in to like remind you of what you're supposed to do, and it'll like cut to that scene again, and then you wait a little longer and you still can't figure it out, or you're like, you put the controller down to go into the kitchen to get something, and then the character once again after like a minute or something will be like, hey, remember you have to do this. That's what it felt like, because he's just standing there for like a straight 30 seconds.
It was very awkward. I'm like, what is he doing? I know and he doesn't, because he has his mask on too. I mean, he's hesitating because he doesn't want to kill the guy, but I'm just like, but what I thought he should have done, I was like, because he was blocked off from view from everyone.
Shoot
next to him. That's what I thought he was going to do, and he should have done it. Because
he should have, because the guy dies.
Yeah, another dude comes over and kills him, and I'm like, bro, you
Thanks,
just killed
Mulder.
that guy. Yeah, 100. Yeah. So, yeah, that sucked. I don't know why he froze up so bad there.
But it's funny because like every like 20 seconds someone is like, hey, you still haven't taken care of that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, are you going to kill that guy? Hey, what are you waiting on?
Yeah.
It's like, let's go already. It's like a full minute of the episode. And then it even goes to commercial break, and when it comes back, he's still standing there. He's like,
one thing, too, I think that we should take into account.
And he doesn't even try to save him. It actually, I don't like how that scene plays out, because Mulder just lets that guy die. And that's not Mulder's character. Mulder would have, like, blown his cover to save someone.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I actually don't like it, because Mulder just kind of, like, lets it happen. He almost lets that guy get killed.
The other thing, too, is that Mulder, like, we've already gotten so much backstory and so many episodes where he has, like, hostage negotiation, like, techniques. And he's, like, very, he's good in those stressful situations because of that. So I feel like he should have been able to handle that better. And I don't think he does. But what I was going to say is that I think we should also keep in mind, too, that, like, even though this show was airing, like, people were watching it maybe week to week, there's tons of people, I'm sure, that just kind of jumped in random episodes to watch. So what I was meaning with that is that they might not have seen all these other, like, oh, they don't trust each other episodes, where it becomes very, like... I'm not saying that's an excuse. Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, from the writer's perspective...
The writers should always keep in mind the diehards who watch this all the time.
I agree.
You should reward
but I also
your
think
fans.
that a lot of TV shows back in the day didn't have that kind of, like...
Continuity.
Yeah, the continuity or, like, level to commitment, because TV was always sort of, like... lesser than movies. I mean, like, I think David Lynch's Twin Peaks is like the first like real television series that was taken seriously with continuity as far as like that goes. Otherwise, a lot of them were like these just one-offs. And
I'd say The Sopranos was like the benchmark, the holy grail for that, where like, because that had like the biggest audience, it was the biggest show on television, and it was like so well scripted and everything. You really had to watch every episode. It wasn't week to week. If you weren't in to watch it, you didn't know what was going on, and you were like out of the cool club.
Yeah. Anyway, it's so funny because, like, I love the X-Files, and, like, I'm so happy we're watching it, but it is kind of one of those shows where there's so many episodes and storylines that are either kind of pointless or, like, poorly written, and you're like, but the characters are so iconic, and there's so many great episodes, too.
Yeah.
I know that you said, I think, in, like, the last review we did, Season 5 kind of sucks, but Season 6 is great,
so
is like amazing. So I feel like the first 2 seasons are really strong, and then we get like a few other episodes that are really good, like Home, which is Season 4. But so far Season 6 has like been the best season, I think.
Season 6 is where they really just start to embrace the silliness of things, and they go in and they're like, you know what, enough of this trying to play on the fence of like, is it or isn't it? Is it science or is it supernatural? Or it's like, fuck it. People are tuning in for the supernatural. We're committing to that. We're going all in, and we're going to get to like genies, and we're going to get like, that's where the show's the best for me, is when it just fully commits to how silly the supernatural stuff is and goes all in. That's when things get great, and Season 6 is where that starts to happen.
Because all the government conspiracy stuff is all the heavy stuff.
That's least favorite stuff.
And we've talked about, like, we're not huge fans of it. It's important for the overall story, but
it never pays off. It's always the same thing.
It's always the same. It's always conspiracies, and like they get to one answer, but it's not the real truth, and like they just constantly get misdirected, and it's like very frustrating because it's like
this isn't real. Mulder's like, yes, it is.
But with the supernatural stuff, it's like you get to see them kind of like in their element and like really see their personalities shine. So yeah, this episode is like whatever for me.
We also have Mulder getting his pinky broken in here as far as continuity goes.
He's like, you better put that sack over my head again unless you want to see a grown man cry.
Yeah, that's a funny line. And then in the next episode, his pinky is still taped up.
Yeah.
So some good consistency there.
They do some consistency stuff. Mm-hmm. With injuries. I do think they try and pay attention to injuries that would be, like, noticeable.
Now, will this bioweapon make an appearance in a future episode? That remains to be seen. I do not know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen it thus far, and we are on episode 4? Or no, episode 6 of season 6 currently. We'll be watching episodes 7 through 40 this week, I'm sure, because my kids are out of school. So anyway, we'll probably be on season 7 by the time we record next time. And we'll be a full season behind, which will be crazy. Anyways, all right, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.